So Pythagoras was also like really interesting to read about. Apparently, also another jerk, just like Heraclitus. Apparently, half of these people were like assholes, in Greek
Philosophy does have that effect. Case in point. Yeah.
So at least what I've read of him, one of his most profound sort of contributions to philosophy was to recognize that the study of or the acquiring of knowledge is a exercise in contemplation, in almost like a spiritual sense, right? And so they were contemplatives, the Pythagorean cult. It was basically a cult, right? So what I learned over there was they had this analogy of the three kinds of people who come to the Olympic Games, right? They say that there's the worst kind, the base kind, are the hawkers and sellers, right? The people who are selling you peanuts in the gallery or whatever, right? They're like the worst kind. And then slightly above that are the people who are competing. And then they have, they're a little bit better. They have some honor, and they're competing, and they're discipline involved, and so they're a little bit better. But their view of it was that the best kind of person are the people in the stands who are just looking at the entire spectacle in a somewhat disinterested way, and they felt like this was a good analogy to run your life with, right? So you weren't involved in the base efforts of doing anything useful in life, like commerce
Right.
or improving yourself, in a sense of like an athletic way, but you were just observing in a dispassionate way, and so they applied that ethic to the contemplation of mathematics, right? Which they for the first time really discovered that there were some universal truths. 2 + 2 is always equal to 2. No, sorry, 2 + 2 is always equal to 4, right? And there's no two ways about that, right? And then they all, of course, discovered the harmonic sequence and the Pythagoras' law as well, and that sort of thing. And I was thinking about how profound it was in that kind of time when the world at that time was thought to be just ruled by gods and their moods. It rained, or it thundered, or there was an earthquake because some god got pissed off, and that's why that happened. And these people ended up discovering something that was just super natural, right? It was outside of the natural order of things. It was not about earthquakes or 2 + 2 is going to be equal to 4, no matter what the gods thought about it, right? And so they found an area of knowledge, an area of contemplative revelation that must have been really profound at that time. Like, oh shit, this thing is, absolute, and it doesn't matter what the gods think about it; it's still going to be true. So that was almost it's almost the discovery of pure mathematics, or the pursuit of pure mathematics. Assumed an aura of religious experience. It's like you are uncovering these, laws of nature, and it seems like, hey, this nature actually has some rules to it, and then it's almost like you hack the some sort of like the matrix, like oh crap, this thing is all code, and that's a profound revelation, right? This is everything is code here. And so I think that's why, at least from what I've read, the Pythagorean movement was kind of like a religious cult, and
again, rightfully so on some level. This actually gets back